Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, we're going to build an amazing hotel booking site. You could use this for building a hotel booking site, a motel booking site, even an Airbnb type booking site. It's really easy to do. I'm going to show you how to do it step by step from start to end. Watch along and I hope you enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, we make videos on all things sort of e-commerce and web design, that type of thing. We do websites, directories, online stores, and also sometimes review cool tools and apps that are all related to this same sort of niche. Anyway, let's get into it and build a hotel booking site. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is jump onto Wix.com. If you don't have a Wix.com account, there's a link in the description. Don't worry, it's not an affiliate link. I don't make any money off it. It's just a good platform for this particular type of website if you want to do it yourself and you have a really impactful design. So jump onto Wix.com and open an account. Once you've done that, there'll be a big button. You can't miss it. It says create a new site. So once you do that, you'll get to this page here. And what it's asking you is, do you want to use basically a Wix theme or do you want to use Editor X? For this video, we're going to use a Wix theme. It doesn't require any code and they have some really good templates to choose from. So let's just hit Wix and then it's going to ask you what kind of website you're going to create. So just type in hotel. And here we go. We're presented with a bunch of hotel, hostels, apartments, that kind of thing, themes. And you can see here, you can sort of narrow it down. But for this type of build we're going to do today, I think we might use this site here. I've used it before. It's a really clean, simple design. It's great for renting out, say, apartments, motel, small hotel, that type of thing. So we will go to edit. Okay, so our theme has loaded up and it's got all our preloaded content. And if you've ever used Wix before, a lot of this should look pretty familiar. Now we're just going to start changing things up. And the aim of this particular hotel, it's going to be your typical, maybe a small boutique hotel. We're going to change up some of the copy and the text, a bit of the styling, and then we will look at the room types and do the payment gateways and just work our way through this in a logical and methodical fashion. Okay, so we've got our site selected and our theme. The next step we want to do is pick a plan that will allow us to have a custom domain and also accept payments when we get to that point. So to get to the sort of the dashboard behind the scenes, you just go to settings and then go down to my dashboard and it will take us to a screen that looks very similar to this. Once you're on here, you want to head down to the bottom left and hit upgrade, and that will take us here. Now you'll see there's two tabs at the top. What you want to do is go across to the business and e-commerce plans. We're just going to go with the business basics for this one. That's all we need so we can do the online payments and get a custom domain. And also you'll see here that there's a free domain included for 1 year. So once you've chosen this, any of the Wix banners and ads will disappear. Also, it'll allow us to choose a domain which will instantly be available to publish the site. So let's go back to our dashboard. Once you've chosen a plan, it'll allow you to publish the site. So we've just done that and hit the publish button. So we can see the site here. And there you go. So it's live. Now we can start making some other tweaks to it, to just the stuff more behind the scenes that gets the settings and the configuration right. So we'll go back over to our dashboard here. So we've picked a plan, we've published the site. The get a domain, really all you need to do here is if you've selected one of these Wix plans that includes a domain, just press get a domain, and there is literally, you just type in whichever site name you want, press select, and within about 15-20 minutes normally the site is available. The other option there is if you've already got a domain and you might have purchased on Namecheap or GoDaddy, something like that, you have the other option to use a domain you've already got and sometimes that can take anywhere between 1 and 8 hours for it to replicate around the world to all the servers and make it available. So if you do use a non-Wix selected domain, just be aware that nothing's gone wrong. If you're getting a blank page for 5 or even 7 hours after you've done it, that's pretty standard. Come back the next day and you should be live. But in the meantime, you can build your site and you can preview it. The next step here is get found on Google. This is your SEO. It's really not that important at this point in time. It's sort of something we come back to when we've finished the site and we want to get found on Google. And Wix has got a really good sort of step-by-step guide. It'll ask you to put some of the keywords in your metadata, your title description, and just make sure that everything's in order. And if it's not, it gives you alerts and notifications that needs to be done. The next section, just while we're in this setup and configuration phase, to take a look at is we want to go down here and click on settings. And within here, this is where you can do all of your site's main settings. So you can add your favicon, which is your little icon up there on your browser tab, your business name, business information, and your address, that type of thing. Roles and permissions, we can work through that possibly a little bit later if we get time. That really just allows you maybe to invite other people in to work on the site, or if you're looking to maybe if you're building this site as you own a hotel or a motel, you can add staff in so that they can work on it, or you can also transfer this site to someone else if you're making this as an agency and you're building it for a client. So if we jump into, say, this one here, business info, we're going to call this the Flinders Hotel. And if we go down, it allows you to type in an address. Flinders in Victoria is down the Mornington Peninsula, so we're just, for this example, we're going to choose that as a location. And all this is pretty straightforward, so nothing here that should be too overwhelming, I wouldn't thought. If you've got your logo, this is where you can add it in and it'll appear on the site and also onto invoices and other communications, that type of thing. So they're the sort of the basics that we need to get done so that we can move on with the site build. So let's move over to the next section and start modifying our site. Okay, here's a bit of a pro tip. We're going to jump forward here. Here is the end product. You're seeing a very clean hotel build. It looks super professional. If we click over to the rooms, you can see room 1, room 2, beautiful images, the pricing, the room amenities, all that type of thing. The pro tip here is that if you're looking to build hotel booking sites, Wix is a great option. This particular theme here can be built once you've got all the information from your client. If you're looking to sell it, you can do this in 2 or 3 hours from end to end, including the proposal, the discussions, everything you need. I can sell this anywhere between $25,000 and $35,000 as a fixed price build. So there are not many things in web development these days where you can get $10,000 an hour. In fact, you can't get $10,000 an hour anywhere, but this is an opportunity to make significant income. And the reason that clients will pay that kind of money is the perceived value. You can turn this around pretty quickly, and it has everything a small operator needs to run their hotel, Airbnb, apartment booking site. Let's get back into it. Okay, so in this section we are going to make some changes to the images and some of the wording, the copy on the site, and start making it a bit more like the kind of site we're after. So the first thing I just want to point out is we're not going to make holistic changes to actually the structure of the site. And the reason for that is it can cause you big problems down the track in your mobile site. So most people, when they're designing their site and doing their layout, they'll be looking at it like this in the desktop version, but it's worth considering the mobile version as well as you go. And to have a look at the mobile version with this Wix editor, you just click on the little phone picture and away you go. So now you can see the mobile version of the site. And you can actually do some changes in here as well and optimize it for the small device version. But just be aware when you are building these type of sites with Wix that it doesn't automatically convert that it might do, say, with WordPress or some of the other web builders. It can cause you a few issues. So anyway, moving on, we'll update the hotel name here. So we just click on that, hit edit text, and you just go up here. Now we're going to call this the Flinders Hotel. And the next thing we're going to do is change this background image. And there's probably a collection of images here. You can see that it's on a bit of a slideshow, so it's scrolling around. And to change that, we just go to Manage Media. And you can see these are the images that it's scrolling through here. So we're going to blow these away, so we'll just delete them out, and then we're going to add media images, and I've preloaded a few images in here we're going to use for our hotel. So say this one, we'll add that, and we might add one more. You can also add a video in as well if you've got a video that you'd like to use on your home page. And maybe this one here. I'll actually go with this one. Okay. All right, so we've got our new name, we've got our new image. It's looking really good. You can see the standard pages that this theme comes with. So home, explore, the rooms, the amenities, the kind of things you'd expect to see at a small, maybe luxurious hotel, which we're going to build here for the Flinders Hotel. Scrolling down, you've got your standard footer. Anyone that's used Wix before knows that they just put all the standard Wix address and details in, so easy to change. We're not going to go through every single one of these. You've got a choice of font, colors, that type of thing. So we might change this to be Flinders Vic. Vic 31, not sure exactly the postcodes, probably something like this, and phone number. You've also got all your social media options here. So to set your social links, you just click on that, and you can actually choose from a whole range of set of different icons. So we could actually blow these ones away if we want to go maybe with something more colored, a bit more modern. Add icons, and so we might have Instagram. We'll choose that one, and we will go with Facebook and maybe Twitter. And I think you can also categories here, so we'll just pick Twitter, and then you can see which ones you got to choose from. We might go with this one here, add to gallery. So rather than the standard black and white ones, we've just changed them up to the color. And then of course in each one of them, if we just set the social links, for each one of them you'll see here you can add your specific link. Same for Facebook, same for Instagram. So that's sort of the main page updates. We've also got some changes we can do here. So we will just click in here, edit the text, change this into Flinders, proudly created by nexus.com.au. Okay, so there you go. We've already made a fair bit of progress. Let's move on to the other pages and keep on working our way through it. So now let's take a look at the pages and the options and how we can move the menus around to maybe rename, or if we wanted to add a new page. And to do that, we go over here to the left side and just hit menus and pages. And you can see here's all the pages we have. And this one here, the contact page is there, but this little icon here is showing that it's currently hidden. To reorder any of the pages, it's pretty easy. So we could move the rooms to be ahead of the Explore, and we could put amenities up there as well. So you can see that is dynamic. As we change it here, it's updating here straight away. So to have a look at the content of these other pages, we can just easily click on it, and there's a few different ways you can move between pages in Wix. You can do it that way, or you can use this menu here and we can flick back to the home page, meeting and events, flicking over here, Or you might want to see this page on mobile, so you can click the mobile as well and come over to this page. And again, if you're on mobile and you want to go back to the rooms page, for instance, it takes you through to here. So the navigation is pretty straightforward. There's other things you can do in terms of styling and elements. You can change your fonts, you can change all of your colors, you can change some of the other stylings and strips and transparency and overlays and those type of things. But in this tutorial, we're just going to run through sort of the basics to take you from selecting that theme, doing the standard type of customizations, and getting a room or a couple of rooms set up, and then making it available for anyone out there who wants to book it and select it and pay for it and come through to you. So the next one we're going to take a look at is the rooms pages, and we are going to set up a room in the hotel that can be booked. So let's jump into that next. Using the Wix Hotel theme allows you to actually build one of these sites very, very quickly. It's one of the better ones. There's a heap of options out there, but the reason I'm showing you is because I think it's a great one to use if you're building it for yourself, or even if you're an agency doing it for a client that's looking for a sophisticated, really good looking site, but isn't going to cost a fortune to build. So let's quickly just take a look at the other rooms. So we'll go to not the other rooms, the other pages. So we'll go to amenities, and this is where you can change up some of the other features of the hotel. You might even not need this page, or you want to rename it, but same again, you can go in here and change out the image pretty quickly. So we'll just do that, change the image, and we might go with say this one here, because we're on the amenities, and we'll change out the pool and go with maybe this one here, and there you go. So for this type of hotel, this layout's not too bad. You can then update all the text for what's at your hotel. The other one we'll take a look at is the explore page, which is one of the standards here. Here it's really let your imagination make the changes, but it's got everything you need, and you can also alter this around completely. You don't just have to change the photos, you can completely change this page up. Okay, just before we move off the home page here, we might want to add a few policies like privacy policy, reservation policy, cancellation policy, and these might be in a few different places in the site, but they're quite common things to add to, say, the footer. So if we scroll down, we can just go to add, and we'll go to text, and we'll just go to, say, add a heading 6. And what happens here, if you scroll down slowly, it'll give you this option to move it to the footer, and then it moves into the footer, and then we can just say move it across to here, for example. And if we double click in there, we can put say privacy policy, and then we'll get our font size maybe at 14, and then we use this link. And what you do here is select a document, and then you would just choose that file, and I would say done, and then that will give you a link to your privacy policy. And then what you can do is just copy paste that, and maybe under here you change this one to be say cancellation policy, and do the same thing. So you can put your privacy, cancellation, reservation policy, that type of thing. And also under the bookings on the rooms, those documents can be attached when the emails go out as well. So just something else to be aware of. And the other one is to your mailing list here. So if you click on here, you can have a look at the form settings, and you can change this so that the email address it comes from and the other conditions around collecting subscribers. So that's a good one, but if you don't want to do that, you just simply hit delete, and you can blow that away entirely. So that's also an option. Alrighty, next step is we need to update the room landing page and all the details around the room, the configuration, the rates, all that kind of thing. So let's jump over into that. So to get that started, head to rooms. First thing we're going to do is update this image here. And to do that, we just go to change image, and we might select, say, this image. And there we go. So that one's updated. It's looking good. Now you'll see here, double click to set up your online booking system. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now we're going to add rooms and then edit the settings and then set up the payments. And as you can see, Wix makes it pretty easy to step through this process. So there's a couple of preloaded kind of configurations in here. So for this one here, we're just going to call this room 1, and we'll say max guests. Maybe you have 2 kids as well, and maybe this is we'll go to meters if it lets us, square meters, and we'll go to maybe 36 square meters. We'll say there's a double bed, maybe another amenities. Yeah, we can click all of these, and you can even add some more amenities if you'd like to. Scroll down, so we're going to add some photos of our room. And of course, if you're setting up your own hotel, motel, or for your client, you'll have these photos. So we'll just select this one, and we might select this one as well. Actually, we've got to do them one by one, so I'll add the next one in, this one here. Okay, so I think you get the picture. That's where we put our photos in and the description. So for now, we're just going to put this TBA. This is our room description. You can go on to, similar hotels, that kind of thing, to get ideas of what you might want to include here. But this is the description of the room, and that's where it's going to appear on the site. Now, the charges for the room before tax, we're just going to charge per room, not per night. And we will go a weekday price of $180 and a weekend price of $220, and we're going to hit save there. So we've just set up our first room. Now we'll go to the next setting. So we call this the Flinders Hotel, and we'll just put this as test@test.com for now. Okay, so next we're going to enter in the address, and I've just entered in here Flinders Vic, and it's 7 Punchbowl, when the postcode is going to be 3929. It's just a fictitious address, well, sort of, but this actual spot has a great view over the ocean. It would be a great spot for a hotel, and probably at some point in the future someone will probably build one there. Anyway, next we've got our time zones. Melbourne, Australia, that sounds good to me. We're using square meters for our measurements, and our language is English. Then length of stay, so minimum 1 night. We might put the max as 14 nights. Check-in at noon, check out at 2. That all sounds pretty good, and we had as you'd expect in this part of the world, our weekend nights are Saturday and Sunday night. Okay, let's hit save on that. Payments. This is where, if you're on a paid plan, which you really need to be if you're going to build a hotel, you can connect your payments. Now, anyone familiar with this type of thing, you will find it pretty easy with PayPal. It's a couple of minute job to connect your PayPal. The same with Stripe. So go ahead and enter that in now and connect it, and you'll get a green tick here, and you're good to go. So we're going to jump back to the main menu here, and now you can see here that the room we added, we now have it here, and it's showing as available. And if we click on this room, we can just update this name. We'll get rid of that one. We'll call it room 1, and show the rates. There we go. So we've got our weekdays at 180 and our weekends at 220, which is what we're after. We could also add a reservation in here if we wanted to. Now at this point, it's probably worth taking a look at actually the updates that we've done, and to do that, we just head across to Publish, and then we'll do a refresh, and there you go. You can see some of those changes coming in, and depending on which browser you're using, it may cache some of the information, so you might have to do a bit of a hard refresh there. But anyway, so you can see we've changed it to the Flinders Hotel. Scroll down the bottom, you can see these icons and the other changes that we made, and also the reordering of the menus. Let's take a look at the rooms, because we've just made those changes. So you can see the changes we've put through here, and that looks pretty neat. It looks pretty clean. So happy with that, let's just jump back and we can have a look at just some of the last management kind of areas, because if you've got a hotel, you're going to want to have reservation policies, booking policies, cancellation policies, and all that kind of good stuff. So let's take a look at that. If you go back into here, you can click on Manage, and this opens up the management dashboard, and you'll see over here you can hit Show All, and there's a bunch more information. So just running through them, the calendar, that's the view we're looking at now. Rooms, if we want to add new rooms, make changes to rooms, etc., this is where we do it. Settings, we've just gone through most of that, but now we can go into policies. Whether it's you've got a lawyer and a legal team to do policies, or whether you want to borrow a policy from some other site and modify it accordingly, this is where you put that policy, and it will be available to people that book it, and it can be linked to it, and also that can be put onto the site into the footer, so that when you click on policies it opens up. So that is where the policies go. Payments, we've just run through that. You can do up to 14 different languages, but we're going to stick with English for this one. You can also put rules around your pricing, so it might be more expensive over a summer period or winter period, and you can also set up coupons, for specials, promotions, and that kind of thing. So this is the dashboard, and just to show you really how easy it is to add another room. If we wanted to add a second room, we just go create new room, we'll call it room 2, and we might just have this as just for 2 people. We might have a big suite here, so 59 square meters. We might go for a super king just for 2. Click all these again. Images, we'll just add this one in, and we'll add this one as well. Room description, we've talked about that. This is where you put it in. We'll just put that as a TBA. Charge per room, we'll do 300 a night for this one, 350 on weekends, and we're happy with that. So this is available straight away, so we can just close this down. If I go refresh here, I think the second room is going to appear. There we go, room 2, 300 a night. If we click in here, we can see that other information that we set. So that's our description that we need to add in, and there's everything else. Now, I think you'd agree it's a pretty clean, pretty cool looking layout. So now that we've done that, we'll just have a look at some of the finer finishing touches around our site, and that will be a wrap. So now if we want to take a look at our site and all the changes we've done, and just see if there's anything obvious we need to fix, we can do that. So let's just go and publish this site again, and here we go. So you can see down here all our changes are there. In fact, some of them aren't there, so let's just do a refresh, and there you go, our policies have appeared now. The hyperlinks aren't there because I actually didn't add a document, but as soon as you do, you'll get a hyperlink on that. Let's just go through the menus. So if we go to rooms, we've got our rooms there. If we go to amenities, we've made some changes on this page, and it's all pretty clean, pretty nice looking. Explore page, we haven't made any changes really here, but you can sort of get the picture. Update some copy, put some good images in here, and you're good to go. The meetings and events, pretty standard for sort of a medium-sized hotel to have this kind of information available, and all the templated information is there just ready to update. And there's also some different styling you can use to have a play around, see how you go. And of course the big one is to be able to do bookings. So if we wanted to make a booking for this hotel that we've just created, we could pick say Friday night, and we might check out on Saturday night, and we'll do a search, and it'll tell you what rooms we've got available. And as you'd expect, both rooms appear, gives us our pricing, and then you can go ahead and do the book now. So we have pretty much built this hotel website really quickly. We've shown you how to do the customizations, update images, update text, add rooms, do the pricing, add the policies, and we've connected the payment gateway. So end to end, it's pretty much been done. When you pick your package, just make sure you include one that's allows you to take payments, so it's on one of the e-commerce or business Wix packages, and you'll most likely get a free domain and some other stuff. You might even get some free Google ads and some other advertising credits, and away you go. If you have any questions about this video, drop them in the comments. If you've got a bit of value from the video, give it a like, subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to see more on Wix Hotels or to go deeper into any of the areas, just let me know and we can do it. Thanks for watching. See you.